Hey everybody, it's your boy Justin. Um, yeah, so I uploaded like a video today, a gaming video, but it sucked, so I'm doing this instead, which I'm finally showing off my PlayStation 1 JRPG collection. As far as I know, this is my whole collection. I don't think I forgot anything. But I checked the games. I'm pretty sure that this is all the games I have. But if I'm wrong and I forgot something, I'll put it in the comments or something. But I'm pretty sure this is all my games, right? So how we're gonna do this is we're gonna do it by publisher, right? And I'll also at the end we'll show off maybe not at the end, but um, we'll show off some like Western RPGs. There aren't that many, but like most of these are JRPGs. This is my PlayStation 1 RPG collection. We're gonna start off with Square Enix games. Here's Final Fantasy Origins for the PlayStation. I paid $20 for this. This collects uh, pixel remakes of Final Fantasy 1 and 2 for the PlayStation, where they updated the graphics and put in CG animation, right? I would still recommend the PSP versions of these games, but if you don't have a PSP but you have a PlayStation, this isn't too bad. But I would definitely recommend the PSP version if you're gonna play Final Fantasy 2, because it takes forever to level up your skills in this version of the game. So you would want the PSP version. So next is Final Fantasy Chronicles, which comes with Final Fantasy 4 and Chrono Trigger. Right? These are SNES games. Right? 2 discs. Right? I beat Chrono Trigger. I didn't beat Final Fantasy 4. Yeah. One day I will. One day I will. So this is the Final Fantasy Anthology Collector's Package, which has Final Fantasy 6 and 5. I recommend this version of 6 if you want to see the cool CG cutscenes, which they added a couple. I thought there would only be like the beginning one and the end, that they did add some throughout the game, right? Which, if you play Final Fantasy 3 for the SNES Classic, you're not gonna get the awesome PlayStation cutscenes. So which for people who don't know, Final Fantasy 3 was Final Fantasy 6, but they didn't. Square didn't put out some of the games in the West, so yeah, that's why the name changed, right? Next, we have Final Fantasy VII. Still haven't beaten this game. I got stuck. I couldn't find Rocket Town. And by the time I got a strategy guide and all that bullshit, Remake came out, so I played Remake instead. I mean, I have played this game. I just haven't beaten it. So next, we got Final Fantasy VIII. This is like the first Final Fantasy game I've ever played. Still haven't beaten it because I keep fucking up I keep fucking up the player builds, and you can't just spam the GFs to beat the game. So fucking the guy who made what the hell? There's like a peg or something in there, and it's warping the picture. I don't know how that got in there. So that's next is Final Fantasy 9. Never beaten this game. I'm thinking of playing this game next. Actually, I've just been playing random games. I'm not in the mood for anything. So I might try to play this one. I don't know. This one is kind of cool. I like the cartoony character designs in this one. And I like that they brought back the fantasy look, because they went like cyberpunk for a while with Final Fantasy 7 and 8, and they brought back the fantasy look aesthetic for this game. Yeah. So next is Parasite Eve. This is a horror JRPG. I first played this game on the PS Vita, but when I finished the first disc, it wouldn't change to the second disc. It wouldn't work. So I was like, what the fuck? And I still haven't played this game. It's like $20. Next is Valkyrie Profile. This is originally an NX game. One of the few NX games I own. Other than Brain Lord and Arc Riser for the Super Nintendo. Yeah. This game is super expensive. Has some cool character designs. I paid $160 for it. Yep. I love how at the store I bought this at, they only put the price tags on the really expensive games. So it's like, for like the non-super expensive games, you have to ask them, hey, what the fuck is this? What's the price at? It's like, god damn it. Next is everybody's favorite Evangelion ripoff for the PlayStation, Xenogears. Paid $50 for it. The package is a little damaged, but you know, it is what it is. Yeah, this is the first game in the Xeno franchise. Really cool game if you haven't played it. So next is Saga Frontier, which love the aesthetic of this game, love the character designs, but fuck this game. If you played this game, you know what I mean. Because it takes the best aspects of Western RPGs in like JRPG setting, but then the game fucks you by having the battle rank system. Which what the battle rank system is the enemies will stats will level out to the stats of the strongest character in your party. So if you don't start in any of the playthroughs, if you do not start off, if you don't play the game with a full party right in the beginning, you fuck yourself really hard because the enemies, except for the bosses, stats will even out to your highest level, to your strongest character's stats, right? I don't mean to say levels because the game doesn't have levels. It's just like random stats will level up. But yeah, fuck this game. And I bought Saga Frontier 2. Well, this was a gift. This was a gift, hence why it's I got this. But like, yeah, it's like apparently they got rid of the battle rank system for the second game. I hope that's true because I want to play this at some point. Yeah. And even with like a strategy guide, I couldn't beat like any of the characters' playthroughs for like Saga Frontier 1. So next is Chrono Cross, which I was supposed to play and review this game, but it was like I kept getting lost and had to keep looking at strategy guides for the game, and that's very boring for me, right? And the level, I was surprised that the level system, the progress system was a lot like Romancing Saga games, where you just random stats will level up, right? So yeah. Okay, next, that stupid magazine keeps falling down. Next, okay, we'll save the really good games for last, or the really rare, expensive games. Oh, shit. So next we'll do the Western RPGs. Darkstone, I paid $10 for this game. It's like a French RPG that's basically like a Diablo clone. right? Which I don't own Diablo. One day I'll own Diablo for the PlayStation, but yeah, it's a very hard game to find. I hope it's not too expensive, but yeah. Next is Crusaders of Might and Magic. This is an action RPG made by 3DO, not the console. New World Computing. Yeah, this is an action RPG. 3D graphics. Yeah. Play it with a vengeance. So, like, Might and Magic, for people who don't know, was basically, it's like a brand that's basically like fake Dungeons and Dragons for computer games, right? And they've been around since the NES. And I even have a shitty like Might and Magic game for the Sega Genesis, even though Happy Console Gamer made a video on that I watched saying that game was the worst game ever. I still bought it because I totally forgot about it. But yeah, this game, I don't know, check it out. So here's Warriors of Might and Magic, which is $30. Way more expensive than Crusaders of Might and Magic, even though Crusaders of Might and Magic is the actual RPG, and this is more of like an action platformer that pretends to be an RPG. I mean, occasionally you will level up, but it's not really an RPG. Yeah, but the main character looks cool. I love the rubber like mask, but it's not rubber. It's supposed to be alive because that's teeth. It's like a parasite, kind of like venom that's attached to him. So next is a game. I paid $45 for this game. This is a survival horror RPG, fully voice acted. By the way, this is like the prequel to Shadow Hearts games, made by the same developer, right? I did not pay that much, by the way. I found this at a flea market, and I bought this game because not just because I think the Shadow Hearts franchise is cool, but like I also like survival horror games like Resident Evil. So like the fact that this is like a survival horror game slash RPG was cool to me. Right, and the game plays like Resident Evil until the battles, and then the battles are like strategy RPGs, and you have weapons, and the weapons break after a while. At least if I remember, and you only have like 3 party members. The game is super like short. I never beaten it, but like I will at some point. Yeah. So this game is pretty cool. I first bought this game because I saw a review for this game, and like the guy was like, I forget the guy's name, but the guy was like, yeah, I asked my mom to get me Final Fantasy VII, she bought me this instead. It's like, how the fuck do you mix like this with Final Fantasy VII? Only moms can do that, can make that mistake. Yeah. So next is Landra 2, which is an action RPG. Haven't played too much of it. I paid like $25 for it. Bought it at my friend's video game store, who I've mentioned before. He had to move away because of his place kept getting robbed, and like the cops wouldn't do anything about it because they were like drug addicts that was doing it. Yeah, apparently this was made by the same people who made Legend of Legalia Wild Arms. Okay. Yeah. Never played the first game. The first game's like super expensive. Yeah, this didn't come with a manual either. Didn't play too much, I didn't play too much of this game because it felt like, because the game says, like the game implies you don't need to play the first one to play this one. Especially since this has a different protagonist, but it's like I felt totally lost playing it. Next is a game I totally didn't know I had until I was looking through my games, and then I found this Breath of Fire 4, which I paid $20 for this game. Holy shit! Look at that art. I totally fucking forgot I had this game. Because I haven't played it, that's why. Is that 3D graphics or it's pixel? It's pixel. I thought it was 3D graphics. Oh, they have some 3D graphics. Okay. I don't know. I might play this game. I don't know. I mean, I will at some point. Yeah, I've only played like a little bit of Breath of Fire 2, which I own for the GBA, and I have like Breath of Fire 3 for the PSP, which already got released on the European. I mean, it got released. There's like a PSP version of Breath of Fire that was released for Europe and not here, and it's for some reason it works on my North American like PSP, so it's like what the fuck. But yeah, I haven't played this game. I will at some point. Next is another action RPG, Grand Stream Saga, which I played. I watched a review for like a book for a fantasy novel by the book is by Shadversary. I think it's called Conqueror's Sword or Sword of Conqueror. I can't remember the name of the book. But yeah, it's by that YouTuber Shadversary who does like videos on medieval swords and like how and video game swords, like shit like that. And he totally, I don't know if he intentionally ripped off this game, but like yeah, the world of this game and the world of his fantasy book is very similar, because there's like no ground, there's no land, like everybody lives on land in the sky, right? And the premise for this game, right? I don't know if I paid $50 for this game. I don't remember. But yeah, this is like a game where it's the action RPG, and it's one of the first games where it's one of the first games where you can like buy swords and armor. You get swords and armor, and it actually shows on your character, right? So that's kind of cool. Yeah. Next is a game I paid way too much for. This is by Atlas. Brigantine, The Legend of Forsenna. Which I think this got re-released or just got a sequel. Right? And it's kind of like you have like different characters you can play, but it's like pretty much like Risk the game with some RPG elements. And I did not like the game at all. Right? I thought it was too hard. Yeah. Waste of $200, and I doubt I'll get my money back. Next is another Atlas game, which I didn't I didn't pay as much. Cartia, the Word of Fate, which the guy who did the character, I don't know what the fuck that is. The guy who did the character designs for Final Fantasy did the character designs here. Yoshitaka Mano, right? And yeah, the story is pretty good, but the gameplay is a little weird. It's very like, it feels very much like I don't know, like not exactly like Yu-Gi-Oh, but it feels like a kind of like a card game. I don't know, man. It's weird. Next is Legend of Legalia, which is a cool RPG. The graphics are very bad. I think I can't remember where I bought this, but you know. The graphics are very bad. It's like Final Fantasy VII bad, but worse. But then you have like decent 3D graphics for the battles, and the battles are pretty cool. And just like with Grand Stream Saga, your armor and weapons are like represented on your character model, which is pretty cool, right? And if you're looking for an RPG with like a post-apocalypse setting, this is a good RPG for you. Yeah, which I don't know, I might play. I played some of this game recently. Like, I don't know why. I'm not really in the mood to play anything, really. But I played a little bit of like another game I'm gonna talk about, and this game, and I'm trying to figure out, okay, which game should I play next? I don't know. So next is a game that everybody loved back in the day, and that's Legend of Dragoon. This is a Sony game. I have 2 copies because the disc was scratched and the guy wouldn't return it. So I had to buy a second copy. Motherfucker. So next is Wild Arms 2. I have to... we only have 8 minutes left, and I don't have enough games to justify a second part. So yeah, we're going to do this quick. So here's Wild Arms 2. Yeah. Next is a strategy RPG, Vandal Hearts. This is like 20 bucks. Published by Konami. It's pretty much plays out like Final Fantasy Tactics, which I don't own. I own on the PSP though. Next is one of the more expensive rare games in my collection, Suikoden 2. Wish I had Suikoden 1. But yeah, I don't know which one's more expensive, Suikoden 1 or 2. The guy at my friend's store, he had Suikoden, a broken copy of Suikoden 2 that he was selling for $100. And I'm like, are you really gonna sell a broken copy of a game for $100? And he's like, yep. What the hell? I paid like $150 for this. I don't know. It is worth it. I will say this. This is a good game. Right. So next are the Bandai games, which if you know me, you should know what these games are. Digimon World 1, $40. I paid $80 for this. Digimon card, digital card battle. Paid $80 for this game. Digimon World 2, I paid for $20 or $30. I can't remember. And this, I totally forgot how much I paid for this. Somewhere between $200 and $300. I remember that much. This is Digimon World 3. Yep, Digimon World 3. Okay, now we're down to the last 3 games, all of which are like $100 each, right? Not $100 each. Some are $100 and over. So this is Vanguard Bandits. This is, I paid $120. This is a working design game. This is a good game. It's like a strategy RPG. It's basically, if you want to play a game that's kind of like Escafane or Panzer World Gallant, this is the game for you, right? So next is a game everybody knows. I think I told people I have. Art the Lad Collection, which comes with 4 games. Art the Lad 1, 2, and 3. Beat 1. Couldn't beat 2. 3 I still haven't played, and it comes with what was it called? Art the Lad Monster Tournament or something like that. This is a working design game. Just like with this, comes with a lot of cool stuff. Comes with the 5 games and the making of Art the Lad CD, which is like a video you can play on your PS2, not Xbox. 150-page leather hardbound art book, thumb button covers, memory card holder, and exclusive mini character standees right there. Which I could open it up and show you, but we're running out of time. So the last game I have for the PlayStation is Lunar Silver Star Story Complete Edition. This is another working design game. Well, working design is a publisher. It's not a game company. Some people get mixed that up, right? Which I also have the PSP version of this game. But the PSP version, they update the graphics and they got rid of they did a new dub where they got Yuri Lowenthal to play Alex, right? And did we open this up? Does not come with as much stuff as the Arc the Lad collection, but you know, it's still pretty cool. Oh, I forgot to mention, this game comes with a demo disc for oh shit. Lunar. This comes with a demo disc for Lunar 2, which I think those are the characters from the game. Sorry, not from Lunar 2. But yeah, this comes with a Lunar 2 demo disc, which I played. It's like the first 5 hours of the game, right? Yeah, which I really enjoyed that. This game I'm not enjoying as much. I played like the first 3 hours. The fucking first boss battle in the game is cheap as fuck, cause like the boss every turn can like regenerate 100, like 90 health points, and like my characters can barely do that much damage. And I had to use like 2 like MP restorative items, right? So I can beat the first boss in the game, and I only had 2 items to regenerate my MP. So I'm like screwed because you can't buy those in stores, I don't think. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll play this game. Yeah, but this comes with some cool shit. There's the game. Do not look at that girl's bum. Here's the art book, which Arc the Lad also comes with an art book. Yeah. Lots of anime cutscenes in this game, which is the selling point of this game, honestly, because the graphics are really bad. Because it was originally like a Sega Saturn game or something that they ported to PS1, so they didn't update the graphics too much. But yeah, that's my PS1 collection. Let me know what's your favorite games for the PlayStation 1 are, or RPGs for the PlayStation 1. Yeah, that's it for this video, guys. Peace. And I'll do a review, a combo